Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in. You're welcome, you're welcome. Come on in to current events today. Come on in to current events today. Thank you for showing up and giving us some of your time. On today's current events, I have a story that just brought tears to my eyes. I just was crying before I came on camera because it's something that I have wanted to do for a very, very long time. And to actually see one of my idols do something that I wanted to do, it made me tear up. And what I want to say before I go into this is a lot of our well-to-do, well-off brothers who have businesses, who are, they have money. I want you to listen to this, and not only listen to this story, but I want you to emulate it. I want you to copy it. Because even if I'm ever able to get a certain amount of money, I'm going to do the same. Just so happens that one of my idols beat me to something that has been on my heart for a very, very long time. What am I talking about? You probably say. One of the things I've wanted to do, I said, if I ever got monies, I wanted to go into like the inner cities where, a lot of people are scared to go, where there's gangs, crime, the neighborhoods are run down, etc., etc., etc. And what I have discovered, because I've lived in the hood, and I know what it's like, what to expect, and what goes on. And one of the most, I would say, hidden secrets is that those gangs within those communities, a lot of those gangs run like a business. They run like a business. They have people who keep the money, who do the books. They have little notes here. You'll have someone who keeps the books, is in charge of the money, know how much the gang has, what they bought, etc., etc. That's a bookkeeper. You'll have somebody who records the meetings, secretary. You'll have someone who does the organizing. That's an organizer. Sergeant at arms. They're looking out, make sure no one interrupts the meetings. You'll have what's called planners. These are the people that know how to do what needs to be done, and they plan it out. You'll have the runners. Runners are typically people who do the miscellaneous work, and on and on and on. And all of these gang members, they all have those skills. And those skills can be transposed to a business. I've always recognized that. So now I want to go into what the story is. The story is one of my heroes, one of my peoples I look up to, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson used to play basketball. I don't have to tell you all about Magic Johnson. His name, when you say his name, I need not say anymore. But in his time, he was one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the sport. And he, after playing the sport, he invested his money wisely. The man owns all sorts of type of businesses. I mean, you name a business, he probably is in it. He's got his hand in it. Real estate, malls, strip malls, rental properties, little mortar brick businesses. You name it. The man, he owns over $1.6 billion in his business. How much his business is worth. So, what did he do that I wanted to do is I'm going to read just a little bit so I don't get it wrong, because I like to have things, I like to tell you the truth as it is. He says, I went and sat down with the Bloods and the Crips, two of the most notorious gangs in California. When you say the Bloods and the Crips, people automatically think of California because that's where they originated from. This man, Matt Johnson, went and sat down with the Bloods and the Crips, has hired gang members for his LA neighborhood business. That is something that I wanted to do and have dreamed of doing, is to go back in those neighborhoods and sit down with those gangs and say, look, this is what I want to do with you. You guys already, whether you know it or not, you already have a lot of the skills that a business needs. You have the skills that a business. You run your gang like a business. The only difference is it's not legitimate. It's not legal. That's the only difference. But other than that, the way that you guys run your business is just like any corporate business. And so he understood this, and when I read this, I just broke down and started crying, because I said, this is something I've been wanting to do forever and a day, and this man is doing it. So let me read a little further. So he says he went and sat down with these gang members, the Bloods and the Crips, and Magic Johnson. He did not. What talks about his legacy is one of the greatest players of all time. I think I've already, and he has built quite a legacy in business, having made smart investments after playing years. While many are impressed with Los Angeles Lakers icons' business acumen, Magic Johnson he doesn't take all the credit for his undeniable success. And so, for instance, he would need to help people from his neighborhood without hesitation. Magic reached out to some of the most infamous gang members all over Los Angeles. Johnson's idea was to build a state-of-the-art facility and start business that would resonate with the peoples in the neighborhood. And at the same time, to make me cry, Magic also wanted to help the community as a whole, and he figured there's no way better than to do it than to involve everybody, including the gangsters. Oh boy, this is gonna make me cry. And I went and sat down with the leaders of both the Bloods and the Crips. The three-time NBA MVP told Jalen Rose in an interview for the New York Post. I said, listen, can't be no violence here. Can't be no violence here. Matter of fact, I'll hire some of the youth guys and put them to work. You know what? I hired 10 of the gang members, both on each side, for 20 members total, and 15 of them stayed permanently, and it really changed their lives. This man went in here and did something that I've been dreaming of doing. Sit down with gang members and say, hey, I want to start a business with you guys, and I want to do it within this community, set up a training facility within this community, and he explained what he wanted to do, which is pretty much what I wanted to do. It's almost like he went in my mind and got my ideal and is putting it to work. And that is to go in there, sit with those gangs and say, hey, look, you already run yourselves like a business. The only difference is what you're doing is illegal. And he pointed out, just as I just said, he says, when you have meetings, don't you? Yep, yep. You keep books, don't you? Yep. You have someone who holds the money, right? Yep. And he went on to speak on the things that I just spoke on a few minutes ago. You know, about having a bookkeeper, secretary, organizer, sergeant at arms, planner, runner. That's all the things that make up a corporate business. And so, I'm not going to drag it out, but he convinced the Bloods and the Crips to come work for him, hire him, going to put the facility in there, and then it's going to create and generate businesses within that community. Now, what I want to say to other millionaires out there, whether you're in basketball, whether you're in movies, whether you just own a lot of real estate, whether you have money, please, I beg you to do the same. I challenge you to do the same. You know there's areas where you live, in the states that you live in, that you could do the same model. Get in contact with Magic Johnson and ask him some of the things that he did. I'm sure he will be more than happy to relate that information to you. I'm challenging a lot of other brothers that have the money to do this, to do it. I don't care if you're white, even white men. If you got the money, go into these inner cities and sit down with these gangs and say, hey, I got an idea. I got a plan for you. Because a lot of gangs do have the makeup of a business. And if you can give them and say, look, this is what we want to make, this is what we're going to create, and you guys are going to be in charge. You guys are going to be the CEOs. You guys are going to be the secretaries. You guys are going to be the bosses, the sergeant at arms, the secretaries, all the office holders. And when we're done, you're going to uplift your own community by bringing back grocery stores, shopping centers, somewhere you can go shoe shine, get your hair cut, sit down and have breakfast. You're going to put these businesses back in your rundown community. You're going to do it because we're going to teach you and train you, and the money that you make, you guys can continue to invest it in your community or however you feel. So what I want to say to people out there that are well off, this can be duplicated all around the country. All around the country, this can be duplicated. You want an idea of how to get those communities back up and running that are run down? Invest the money. Invest the money. That's all you have to do. I thank you so much, Magic Johnson. I thank you so much that you went and did what some won't do. But just maybe they hearing about your story, hearing about what you've done and how successful it was with the Bloods and the Crips, that they will say, hey, I got money and I can afford to go and do the same. Duplicate it in Maryland and Baltimore and Michigan and other states. This can be duplicated. And let the people bring their own communities back up. It's nothing better than involving the people within the community to see themselves rise, rise, rise. And they sit back and they look at it and say, damn, look at our community that was run down. Look at our community. Look, we did this. And we own it. We own it. So today, I hope I give some of you that have the cash flow, that have the money out there, an idea where you can go into these states and do the same thing that Magic Johnson did. You can read his article. Let me see if it's posted on the story is by John Jefferson. By John Jefferson. So look up the article penned by John Jefferson. Magic Johnson hired gang members for his L.A. Neighborhood business. Look at and read about that, and it will give you more details than what I gave you here. And so I put a challenge to black men and white that have the money and have the desire to help inner cities. This can be a role model for how to bring those the rundown cities and back to where they're livable, they're wonderful. So as we leave off the station today, current events now, I challenge you. I challenge you to do that. For those of you who are new and who receive some good, usable information, all we want you to do is subscribe, and we want you to hit the like button. Until the next time, take care of yourselves.